Today we're going to go over what the pitching performance philosophy we've created kind of looks like. And again, everything needs to have a philosophy that can be changing, adapting, growing as you grow. And the first thing we're going to look at is we're going to head up this direction over here into what we call core values. So core values are just kind of what we believe, right? Like this is what we have ourselves founded on. And number one is we want an athlete that's self-sufficient, right? So our goal is to prep players to go to that next level, wherever it is their goal is. So yes, while we're building out those plans for them, those plans are based on self-sufficiency. We want those athletes to know when they break with their team, when they go to the next level, that they're able to do what they need to do. The next thing is we want to make our decision based on evidence. So, with that, we don't want to just kind of wing things on a wall and hope that it's going to work. That's why we start with evaluations. We like to look at data. We like to, bring that player along. And then after that, if they do play for a team, like we've had plenty of players at the NCAA level, the professional level, we do have coach-player collaboration. So we're able to mix into whatever that program is. And again, this is looking at everything in a very quick viewpoint of this. But that's what we're kind of founded on, is we want the athlete to, number one, be self-sufficient. Number two, we want to use evidence-based decisions. And number three, we want to be able to collaborate with the coach and player, even if they're working outside of our organization. After that, we have what we call the 4 legs of our performance table. And the easiest way, we have some social media posts on this, is just imagine there's a table. This is my best artwork I can do here. There's the 4 legs. Each one of those legs, we have strategies and tactics. So strategies and tactics, we have mental, emotional, we have strength and medical, and then we have biomechanics and movement, and all those things are supported by results. So ultimately, yes, we need to have results, and those results are your ERA, your K per 9, your walks, all those other things that we're going to value in terms of building a better player. So with that, real quick, we'll touch on this, but in terms of biomechanics, we have some other videos on this, but these are the things we value in order from top to bottom. So we want to make sure the athlete is timed and driving to the plate, that they're creating separation, they have a good sequence of that separation, they stack and track towards the plate, and their arm path and positionings are good, and those are all unique to the player. From the strength and medical side, we obviously want to make sure that, number one, the athlete has the stability and mobility to handle whatever it is we're going to ask them to do. And then we also like to look at something called Sayers power. If you don't know what that is, look it up. It's awesome. It really is a great thing for athletes, especially being able to take linear energy, and then most importantly, turning that linear energy through Sayers into rotational power. And then we get into our what we call special needs, which is where we can get into muscle group specific aspects. If you need a little better, more in-depth strength plan, we can connect you with people to help with that as well, right? Or we can help guide you in those directions. And then from the mental emotional aspect of it, this is oftentimes the most overlooked, and to me, it's probably the number one most important thing, is we want to have people understand process versus outcomes, a routine versus a ritual. We want to have them start learning how to keep their own player journal. And then we also have a thing called the focus band, where we start building in the ability to turn on your prefrontal cortex, and we can develop that a little bit quicker. So again, I've done a lot where I've collaborated with some people who are actually neuroscientists, and they've helped me build out a process to better develop that brain, which again, a better brain means a better athlete. People may not want to believe me on that, but hey, your mileage may vary, but we've had some pretty good results with it, right? And then last thing we'll touch on in this video here is strategies and tactics, right? We want to be able to know how to get first pitch strikes, get the leadoff hitter out, understand effective velocity, and understand game scenarios. So we do have a manual that covers all that information, goes over that, and really helps guide that player in building out their own unique way to get hitters out, as well as giving them some general guidelines. But again, we like to look at the player in a holistic aspect. The next part of our philosophy, obviously, we want to have good pitch shapes. We want to understand how to handle workload management, and we need to know how to, when we're working within those team aspects where we have the coach and player collaborations, how we do that interdepartmental communication. So I just call it like the council, as well as we want, there's going to be conflict, and we need to know how to actually handle that. And then is that player feedback going to be non-confrontational, because we want to teach that player how to accept feedback. Not everything is going to be mean, right? And they don't need to take everything as mean, but we want to teach players how to handle feedback in a non-confrontational manner. And then also we want that player to understand block, random, and deep training. So this is where when we're working with player just ourselves, or whether it's with that multi-coach collaboration, we dive into what the different types of these trainings are, how much allocation a player should have on block, random versus deep, so we can maximize what that player is doing. So we try to do our best to make sure that everything is as individualized as possible, and also helping that player understand that, yes, while we do have a very good opportunity for that player to ask questions, we're not judgmental on it in any way. We get a lot of questions asked every day, but we also need them to understand that, you know what, just because another coach is giving you feedback doesn't mean they're insulting you. It doesn't mean they're trying to create confrontation, but it's all ways to help this player manage the game of baseball and maximize what they're doing. So we'll go over these three in a later video, but I just wanted to touch on those first two aspects of it, and we'll keep going a little bit deeper into what our philosophy is. And if this is something you're interested in learning more about what it is we do, reach out, let us know, and we'd love to connect.